behind the gilded walls and grand facade of Buckingham Palace, where centuries of royal history and Stoic tradition are preserved, a devastating storm has quietly erupted, shaking the very core of the British monarchy. For generations, the royal family has presented an image of unwavering dignity, duty, and unity to the global public, masking the personal fractures and high-stakes drama that often unfold behind closed doors. However, recent whisperings from deep within the royal corridors suggest that King Charles III has been confronted with an unsettling reality regarding Queen Camilla, one that has sent shockwaves to the highest ranks of the establishment. The atmosphere inside the palace is described by insiders as cold, tense, and unprecedented, as the king grapples with painful discoveries that strain his marriage and cast a heavy shadow over his reign. The story of Charles and Camilla has always been one of the most publicized and contentious romances in modern history, spanning decades of public scrutiny, controversy, and ultimate reconciliation. For years, Charles fought fiercely against public opinion, media backlash, and even resistance from within his own family to ensure that Camilla would one day stand by his side as queen. Yet, behind the official portraits and polished public appearances, the reality of their life together in the palace has proven far more complex than the fairy tale presented to the world. Sources close to the royal household indicate that tension between the royal couple had been quietly mounting for months, fueled by the relentless pressure of their administrative duties, health challenges, and contrasting visions for the future of the monarchy. The turning point arrived when confidential documents and private correspondence were allegedly brought to the king's attention, detailing interactions and decisions made without his knowledge or consent. When King Charles reportedly discovered the full scope of these actions, his reaction was one of profound disbelief and heartbreak, feeling personally betrayed by the person he had trusted most throughout his turbulent life. The immediate aftermath was swift and severe, leading to reports that Queen Camilla has been quietly distanced from key royal duties and temporarily restricted from major palace residences while the monarch determines the path forward. Within the palace, senior aides and key figures have been instructed to maintain absolute silence, but the sudden absence of Queen Companion from several high-profile private briefings has only fueled speculation among royal observers. Prince William, the Prince of Wales, who has always maintained a cautious and measured relationship with his stepmother, is said to be observing the situation with grave concern for his father's well-being and the stability of the crown. Meanwhile, Catherine, Princess of Wales, known for her unifying presence, finds herself navigating yet another complex emotional landscape as the family tries to prevent a full-blown public relations catastrophe. The monarchy is no stranger to scandal, but a rift at the very top of the reign during such a pivotal time presents a unique threat to the institution's fragile stability. As King Charles continues to manage his public obligations with resolute professionalism, the heavy personal toll is becoming increasingly difficult to conceal from those around him. The question that now haunts the halls of the royal estate is whether this deep rift can ever truly be mended, or if the consequences of this discovery will permanently alter the structure of the royal household forever. Every movement, gesture, and missed event is now being scrutinized under a powerful microscope by the global press, waiting to see if Queen Camilla will return to full royal standing, or if a formal separation of duties will become the new reality. As the monarchy stands at this historic crossroads, the public is left wondering how much longer the palace can keep the truth concealed beneath the weight of centuries-old royal protocol. As news of the unprecedented inner rift continues to echo through the corridors of power, the atmosphere inside Buckingham Palace has shifted from quiet tension to an atmosphere of intense strategic crisis management. King Charles III, known throughout his long tenure as Prince of Wales for his thoughtful and often sensitive nature, now faces the most challenging personal and political dilemma of his entire reign. For decades, the public narrative surrounding the king was dominated by his unwavering loyalty to Camilla, a relationship that endured severe public backlash, media intrusion, and institutional skepticism before finally earning a place of respect within the royal structure. Because he sacrificed so much to ensure her standing and acceptance as queen, the current revelation of hidden motives and unauthorized actions hits with far more devastating weight. Royal historians and palace insiders note that Charles is always viewed his inner circle as a sanctuary of trust, making this breach of faith feel not just like an administrative issue, but like a profound personal rejection. In the days following the initial confrontation, the physical dynamic within the royal residences has noticeably transformed. with Queen Camilla spending an increasing amount of time at her private Ray Mill house in Wiltshire, away from the official glare of London. While official communications from the press office attribute her absence to routine rest and private scheduling, seasoned royal correspondents recognize the classic indicators of a structured cooling-off period designed to keep court tensions away from the immediate public eye. Inside the palace, senior advisors are working tirelessly behind closed doors, attempting to balance the preservation of the king's public image with the delicate legal and constitutional realities of the situation. The stakes could not be higher, as any sudden change in Queen Camilla's formal duties or official status would immediately send shockwaves through the Commonwealth and spark intense global debate. Prince William's role during this turbulent phase has become increasingly central, as the heir to the throne steps up to support his father while simultaneously safeguarding the future of the monarchy. William's long-standing perspective on royal duty has always been clear and pragmatic, placing protection and integrity of the crown above all personal or familial preferences. Sources intimate that while William has maintained a polite and professional working relationship with his stepmother over the years, his primary commitment remains steadfastly aligned with his father's well-being and the long-term stability of the institution he is destined to inherit. Catherine, Princess of Wales, whose diplomatic tact and calm demeanor have made her a cornerstone of modern royal stability, is also reported to be playing a crucial, quietly supportive role during private family gatherings. Catherine's presence brings a sense of calm continuity during a period when the household feels deeply unsettled, helping to maintain a unified front for the younger generation of royals. However, despite these internal efforts to maintain control, rumors continue to spread among palace staff, with details leaking regarding heated discussions over high-level decision-making and administrative access. Insiders report that certain long-serving advisors who are closely aligned with Camilla's personal office have found their access restricted, signaling a broader restructuring of the internal palace hierarchy. The king himself has retreated further into his official duties, immersing himself in state papers, charitable engagements, and private audiences in an effort to maintain stability amidst the mounting personal strain. Observers who have followed Charles for decades remark that his composure during recent public appearances carries a visible weight, a testament to the immense emotional burden he is carrying behind his signature regal smile. The legal and protocol experts within the royal household are reportedly reviewing all existing frameworks governing royal appointments and representational duties, preparing for every possible outcome should the rift prove permanent. Meanwhile, international media outlets are beginning to piece together the subtle clues, analyzing official schedules, travel arrangements, and photo opportunities for any subtle sign of distress or separation. The delicate balance that kept the royal household functioning smoothly for the past few years has been disrupted, leaving the palace in a state of watchful anticipation as the ultimate resolution remains uncertain. As the days turn into weeks inside the high-stakes environment of the British monarchy, the true scope of this inner sanctuary crisis is beginning to define a pivotal turning point for the future of the crown. What began as private discoveries behind heavy royal doors has now evolved into a profound institutional dilemma, forcing King Charles III to balance his personal emotions with his solemn oath to serve the nation with absolute integrity. In the quiet chambers of Buckingham Palace and Windsor Castle, long-range planning meetings are taking place where the future structure of the working royal family is being quietly reevaluated from the ground up. The monarch's unwavering commitment to his royal duties has remained his primary anchor throughout this painful chapter, keeping him focused on representing the state despite the immense personal weight he carries every single day. Analysts who monitor the House of Windsor closely note that Charles has always operated with a deep sense of historical duty, meaning that any decision regarding Queen Camilla's role will ultimately be made with the long-term preservation of the monarchy in mind. Meanwhile, public speculation continues to grow globally as royal enthusiasts and international observers observe every subtle detail, from seating arrangements at official dinners to subtle changes in traditional public appearances. The strategic placement of Prince William and Catherine, Princess of Wales, during recent engagements has underscored their roles as the true modern pillars of the institution, providing a strong sense of stability, youth, and continuity to a public seeking reassurance. William's increasing involvement in core decision-making processes signals a seamless transition toward a more streamlined and modern royal structure, one that prioritizes transparency, dedication, and complete trust above all else. Catherine's understated resilience and quiet diplomatic grace have earned her widespread praise, further solidifying her status as an indispensable figure capable of guiding the family through its most sensitive inner turmoil. Inside the private quarters, efforts to reach a formal understanding between the king and Queen Camilla are ongoing under the strict supervision of senior legal advisors and trusted personal representatives. The goal remains focused on preserving the dignity of the crown while establishing clear operational boundaries that prevent further administrative conflicts or miscommunications moving forward. For Queen Camilla, whose path to the throne was built on years of patience, public endurance, and careful image building, this sudden shift represents an unexpected and deeply complex chapter in her personal relationship with the British public. Whether this situation results in a gradual, quiet step back from public life or a highly controlled, redefined ceremonial presence, the impact on the day-to-day operations of the palace is already irreversible. The palace press machinery continues to maintain a calm and composed external posture, releasing routine schedules and focusing public attention on ongoing charitable projects, educational initiatives, and global diplomatic outreach. Yet, beneath the polished surface of traditional royal pageantry, the fundamental dynamic of the royal household has undergone a permanent shift that will influence how the monarchy functions for generations to come. King Charles stands at a historic juncture where his personal choices directly shape the legacy he will leave behind in the annals of modern British history. His ability to navigate this deep emotional betrayal while upholding the highest standards of public service demonstrates the resilience required of a sovereign carrying the weight of a centuries-old tradition. As the British monarchy adapts to these unprecedented internal challenges, the world continues to watch with intense interest, witnessing a real-life human drama unfolding behind the majestic veil of royalty. The ultimate legacy of this chapter will not merely be defined by the scandal itself, but by how courageously the king protects the royal household, secures the future for Prince William and Princess Catherine, and ensures that the crown remains a shining symbol of stability, honor, and duty above all personal cost.